Hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Brick. My name is Nick, and today we are going to be reviewing set number 75810, the Stranger Things Upside Down set. This set comes with a total of 2,364 pieces with another total of 8 minifigs. This set is going to be based on the Netflix series Stranger Things, if you couldn't have guessed that. There are, like I said, there's the 8 minifigs. Each one of them is completely unique to the set. The minifigs that come in here are 11, Joyce, Will, Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Demogorgon, and Hopper. Of all of those figs, those are a pretty good selection for what we are looking at right here. I'm going to show you the interior. There are a bunch of amazing pieces in here. There's a bunch of amazing prints and stickers, and I can't believe we're actually getting references to some of these. The set perfectly replicates a lot of the scenes in Season 1 of the show. The set is going to be strictly based off of Season 1. This is the only minifigure-based LEGO set we have gotten based off of Stranger Things. With the hype around Season 5, we're hoping that there are going to be more Stranger Things sets coming out. We know that there is a Brickhead set coming out with the 4 boys, with Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Mike. So the 4 of them are getting a Brickhead set, and it does say on the bottom that it's branded underneath Season 1. So if we are to go into speculation mode with that, we could be getting more sets based on other seasons. Fingers crossed, because that would be amazing. Let me show you the inside. There are a bunch of little details. We're going to go from the top side to the bottom side, and I'll show you the one major play feature in this that is the coolest part of it. So as we are in the top part, you have Will's bedroom, and on this side wall there is a poster for Shark, which is clearly a Jaws reference, which is crazy to see that we do have an official Jaws set now. On the other side, you can see there's a rule book for Dungeons & Dragons, which is also a weird foreshadowing because we do now have an official Dungeons & Dragons minifigure series, as well as the Dungeons & Dragons set. To continue into the living room, you do have the Christmas lights hanging up with all of the letters that Joyce paints on the wall. For continuity's sake, the wall is not on the same size that it is in the actual series, but it's very similar. On the top, you do have a light brick with a 1x2 modified tile that does have special printing on it to make it look like the light is highlighting certain letters on that wall, which is just fantastic, and I can't believe that is something that they did, which is awesome. You also have the Christmas lights hanging up throughout the house, and those do have a bunch of different colors to represent the scene where Will obviously is able to communicate using all the different lights in the house. On the floor, you do have a bear trap, and that is the weapon that I believe Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan set up to try to catch the Demogorgon, or at least hurt it in Season 1. And you also have the axe that Jonathan has. I wish we did have Steve in this set, and Nancy. It's kind of upsetting that we don't, but, you know, it's going to happen when you have a smaller budget for some certain things. And this set was already big enough, so to include more minifigs would have upped the price. In Will's bedroom, once again, you do have the boombox that you have him listening to with Jonathan in one of the very opening scenes that you see. That is going to be playing Will I Stay or Will I Go Now? And that is the first introduction to that song that I was introduced to, and I love that song now, and I'm very happy that I was able to learn that song based off of this series. On the living room table, you do have a poster for Will Byers. It has his age of 12 and approximately 1.5 inches tall, which is how tall a minifig is. I'll show you Will and do a little size on him to see exactly how tall he is, which is pretty cool. But that's a good detail there, and on the wall you do have a few family photos with some butterflies, and then you also got a list of things to do, as well as the phone sitting there on the side, the one that Will tries to communicate with a few times. Up top in the attic, you do have a camcorder, and then on the right side, you have the wizard hat because his part in D&D was the wizard, Wizard Will, and then you do have the drawing of the Demogorgon, actually the Mind Flare from Season 2, which is pretty cool, and that is one of the details that you are not going to see in any other set, just because, again, this is the only Stranger Things set to come out, and this is the only based on Season 1. In the front yard, we have quite a few details. We have Hopper's Ford Bronco. That is going to be attached by a Technic pin just to hold it there, and you will see why it is attached permanently. In the back of the truck, you do see that he has a pumpkin sitting in there, and that is also when he discovers that the vines for the Upside Down are growing into Hawkins, and they are infecting pumpkins during Halloween time. I'm pretty sure that's during Season 2 as well. On the back, you can see his license plate with the little police badge, which is pretty cool, and the rest of the front yard is covered in details as well. You have Joyce holding a drawing that Will drew, which again is part of his D&D persona. On the front windows, you do have newspapers blocking out the windows because Joyce is a little paranoid at that point, and you also have a brick built into the wall. You have the hole where Joyce tried to axe the front of the house to see if Will was in there. also have a porch swing and a couple different seats out front. Along with that, you do have Will's bike, and Will is actually supposed to be on the other end. I did have him on the wrong side here. Speaking of the other side, I'm actually going to show you how it flips over. What you can do is you grab it from both ends and you just do a solid flip right there, and the set stands on its own. This set is perfectly built. It's engineered so well. There are a ton of the Technic ball joints holding it together. You can take them all out if you want to display the houses next to each other, to have one right side up and then one upside down, which is just an amazing detail. But I do love that each one is connected by plants. They're all hanging, and it's just so cool to see, especially with all the vines in the actual upside down. As we go to the back side here, in the upside down, you have everything is inverted. So the shark poster now is black and white, and it's kind of degraded, as well as Will's entire bedroom has posters for D&D on the inside, but it is all destroyed as well. The wall on the inside, where the lights are, has been covered in vines, and the lights are still there for Will to communicate. Some of the bulbs are even missing from the string lights. You still have the same poster on the dining room table, and then in the separate side room, you have all of the same things, just in either dark blue, sand blue, gray, or black, which is awesome as a detail. The attic is empty now, covered in vines, and the roof is now blue instead of dark bluish gray. In the front yard, you have the coolest minifig in the entire set, the Demogorgon, and he's supposed to be chasing Will. Those two are going to be out there. Parts of the house have been wrapped in vines, which is such a cool detail, using that whip piece. And there are a bunch of transparent pieces on the front to make it look like it's dripping and oozing. It's really gross, but it works so well. That is going to be all the details on the entire build. I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up, and we are going to go into all of the minifigs. To start off our minifig lineup, we do have 11. She has a classic Eggo print in her hand on a 1x1 circular tile. She has a waist cape down here on her legs to give her the outfit that Mike was able to dress her up in season 1 to sort of disguise her from the rest of Hawkins. She's got the blue jacket on with the pink dress underneath. And she also does have this hairpiece as part of the wig that she wears in that, and you are meant to actually take that off, so that way you can have her be bald, and I will do that right now, and that way she looks more like most of her appearances in the show. And yeah, again, I hope that we get minifigs for any of these seasons rather than just season 1. I think that it would be so cool if we got sets based on any of the other seasons. I think that it's kind of obvious why they don't make more sets, just because it has gotten a little bit more gory, a little bit more grown up. The series really has evolved from where it started. But yeah, let's get into the next minifig, and we have Mike Wheeler. So Mike Wheeler is going to have a tan torso with just some printing on the front and back. It's fairly simple. He does also have dark green mid-legs, which is something that you do not see a whole lot. The back printing, again, is very, very simple. He has that shaggy black hair, and he has 2 face prints, which we are going to take off the head so that way you can see he's got one more of a disappointed, and then on the other side he's got a little bit of an angry face that really does look like Finn Wolfhard, which is pretty crazy. He looks just like him. That is a really good detailing on those. He does have the little freckles, and he works perfect for what it's trying to represent. Next up, we have Lucas Sinclair. He comes with his classic wrist rocket and a little flashlight that he uses in the series as well. He's got that bandana print, which is just amazing. They got the camo done so well. It's up here on the top, and then over here he has a dark red torso with really nice jacket printing. You can use that for a lot of different minifigs, and he also has mid-legs, this time in dark brown. This is a fantastic fig. He does not have an alternate face print just because the back of his hair would not allow for that, but he has more of a worried face. Up next, we do have Dustin, which is just such a cool fig. This is the very first time that we got this hat hair combo. He has a 1x2 tile that has a little compass on it. He and Steve used that in the season when they are traveling on the railroad tracks. He also has one of the walkie-talkies. On his shirt, he has a print for just a blue shirt with a dark blue torso. For the hat and hair, they did put multiple colors on there. This is probably one of my favorite hat hair molds that we've ever gotten. I love how shaggy his hair is in the back, and he does have those really good prints and colors on that hat. He also has 2 alternate face prints, actually just 1 alternate face print, one where he is concerned, very similar to Mike's, and then on the front he has the more of just the smiley face, and the face expressions are perfect, especially for Dustin. Up next we have Will Byers. He has that classic red little puffer jacket, as well as blue arms, as well as bright light blue legs. That is going to be really good for that medium leg size. He has a hairpiece that was first introduced in this set. It has been since used in the Everyone is Awesome set. He also comes with a walkie-talkie, and he also has an alternate face print. Right there he's got, again, a worried face, and then he has more of just a relaxed kind of monotone face. Up next we have Joyce Byers. This is an amazing fig. She does a really good job at capturing Winona Ryder's likeness. She has a flashlight and that poster that Will drew in season 1, Will the Wizard. Her torso is going to be that olive green color with a red and yellow striped shirt underneath. That Hermione hair is perfect for her, especially in season 1. She also has a face print for an alternate expression. She has a worried face as well. Everybody's got a worried face in this, which is perfect because this show can get scary. And let's move on to Hopper. This is going to be Hopper based on David Harbour's character. He has a bearded face with that tan Indiana Jones hat, as well as a tan torso and dark tan legs. This is probably going to be the most plain fig out of all of them. This one, I do love Hopper, but probably is my least favorite in the whole set, just because he is a little bit more plain. He is using a face print that doesn't really look like David Harbour. I don't know why they use this face print. I mean, it was exclusive for the fig. I guess he has changed quite a bit since season 1, so I guess there is some change on that. He is carrying a white coffee cup, and yeah, there's not a whole lot to go on with Hopper. For the very best fig of the entire set, we have the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon has shot up in value since it has come out. It is using this piece that first came out in this set, and it's been since used on the Orchid to give it a different flower feel. This is such a good mold right here. You've got him yelling with all the teeth in there. This is such a gruesome fig that Lego will not recreate. On the back, you've got some back print, and it is using these satyr legs, which is just fantastic. You've got the claws down there with that printing, and you do have really good torso printing, and you have the Wolverine claw piece printed in this dark tan color. I'm going to take off his head because he does have a detail on the head underneath where the head is completely closed off. You don't actually see him with the teeth, so that way it looks like he is just wandering versus roaring, which is just so good. They did such a good job designing this fig, and again, his value has gone up exponentially because of how coveted and rare he is now. All right, everybody, that is going to be all for this set. Thank you guys so much for watching. This set was an amazing thing to review. I'm so happy we do have one in store. A lot of people do ask about it, and it's just cool to see. I, again, hope that we get more sets based off of seasons 2 through 5, and here we wait for season 5 to come out. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.